And then we've got to organize society according to that. And if we don't have that, by the way, if we totally throw objective reality out the window.
It's so weird that he just spouts this kind of shit with a giant smile on his face. Yeah, we understand what you're saying. We understand that you're trying to uphold patriarchy. That's kind of the basis for all of this, right? What is a woman? A woman is a birth giver. She should be there but to be fertilized by men and give birth. That is it. Matt Walsh has exposed this. Right, it's time to learn about Michael Knowles. This demonic stuff started long ago on Newsmax TV, featuring none other than...
What is it about their obsession with sex and sexualizing children?
That's right, Sebastian Gorka is here, everybody. The beta boys are back.
These perverse pride parades. Has nobody told them that pride is in fact a sin? And now we see footage again and again.
I didn't remember him being this far right before. I know he was like, you know, in the Trump administration and all that kind of stuff. And I don't remember him being this degree, though. Pride is actually a sin? What, just having pride in general? You're probably talking about LGBTQ plus pride, right? It's actually a protest.
And again,
and a
these
celebration.
Pride parades with people doing obscene and lewd things in front of minors, in front...
Wait, this is the picture you used to demonstrate that?
How is the Progressive Conservative Party allowed to exist? It's literally an oxymoron. It's also
thanks,
hard to believe that the
Party.
crack-smoking beefsteak tomato was the less bonkers of the two Ford brothers.
You know you're in Canadian politics well.
...front of children. And then the drag queen thing in Texas, of all places. What are children doing at these events? And what is the goal of the people behind the transgender extremism?
Extremism. Oh, wow. We've moved on from trans ideology to transgender extremism. I can't even get those words out of my mouth. The idea is that queer people have kids that they probably want to take their kids to show that a lot of aspects of LGBTQ plus society is not actually sinful, is not depraved. It's actually just because heterosexuality is so normalized in everyday society. We get it all the time, you know. There's nonstop boobas and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not even saying there's a problem with people experiencing, you know, the things that they enjoy in life. If you want to go to Hooters, you can certainly go to Hooters. I think it's a little bit weird if you want to bring your kids to Hooters to have them look at Hooters girls and then make YouTube videos about how straight your son is because your 5-year-old is staring at some tits and ass and you being like, oh, that's my boy, look at that. Or, of course, did you watch that viral TikTok video of the dad who like puts some like, you know, I forget what he puts on I think it might even be WAP. I don't know. He puts some music video on and then shows it to like a little baby, and little baby's like, you know, bopping along to it, and he's like, hell yeah, that's my son. I've had to fucking cover this thing so many times already, but yes, the only really inappropriate thing, you could have covered up the sign. Again, the sign is not a slogan necessarily referencing a sexual act. It's actually referencing ice cream because it also sells ice cream.
Let's talk to a friend of mine who's been fighting the good fight, telling the truth, pushing back on the perversions. He is the author of a fabulous book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. Michael Knowles, welcome to the Gorka Reality Check.
It's called the Gorka Reality Check. Welcome to the Gorka Reality Check. So pleasurable to have you with us, Michael.
Great to be with you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Michael, where does this all begin? Where does the desire, what is the objective, and why are they targeting children, minors?
Children.
You know, our mutual friend Andrew Clavin loves to quote Hemingway, who said that things happen gradually, then suddenly.
Oh, God, I can't fucking tolerate Michael Knowles. I gotta 125 this.
We're in the suddenly part right now, but the gradually part...
It's just so weird seeing someone express the like most bigoted far-right beliefs with a massive smile on his face the whole time, as if he takes nothing he says seriously.
Has been building for a long time, almost 100 years. The left has had an interest in sexualizing children going back a long, long way. This goes back.
Yeah, it's the left, definitely. It's the left's fault, not you fucking right-wingers who actually literally marry kids. You marry fucking teenagers. Like, what the fuck is wrong with all of you? You have these beauty pageants so that some fucking 70-year-old pedos can ogle 10-year-olds. Like, what the fuck is wrong with every single one of you? You need a reality check.
To a 20th century intellectual named Wilhelm Reich, who believed that all of the problems in the world, from war to disease to everything in between, was caused by, forgive my language, a lack of orgasms. I'm not joking. And he created a device called the orgone accumulator, which people would go and sit in. I don't know what they thought it was going to do. It was mocked in the movies as the orgasmatron, but many left-wing intellectuals bought into this thing. Norman Mailer, J.D. Salinger, a lot of people. Bernie Sanders was writing essays about how we need to accustom young people, little kids, to sexual encounters. He was writing.
What are you saying out loud right now? What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, first off, to say that the science and understanding of sexuality in the 1920s is a forebearer of things to come is absolutely ludicrous. And then to associate all of the left with it is also ludicrous, okay? That's absolutely ridiculous. And yes, science has come a long way. We now know that melancholy experienced by women doesn't necessarily mean that they have been possessed by some kind of demonic force, and that, yes, if they can only relieve their pressure from having air enemas, Dr. Kellogg, by the way, it'll cure it. Like, yeah, people thought and tried out a lot of fucked up stuff. Our understanding of all this still seems to be stifled by fucking repressed weirdos like these two. This idea that, like, oh, the left is obsessed with sex. It's like, all of you are obsessed with sex. You are fucking all, like, paralyzed by it. You're constantly talking about it. It's all you think about. Like, oh, yes, we have to make sure that we keep children away from all this decadent behavior. Time to go to the tilted kilt with my children so that I can ogle the straight women and I can truly move on.
These in the 60s. You can still read the essays.
Like, you never shut the fuck up about this.
So they've been pushing this for a long time.
And then along comes Kinsey, and then continues this perversion, gets feted by the quote-unquote intelligence and the commentariat, and they're on a roll. Okay, let's talk about, I watched recently, thanks to your colleagues at The Wire, I watched the new film by your colleague Matt Walsh, What is a Woman? Everybody needs to see it. It is absolutely superlative. And I want to play one clip that I think gets to the heart of what needs to happen. So this is a member of the Penn State swim team. She's been anonymized because she's afraid of her future. And she's talking about Leah Thomas, the man who's pretending to be a woman on that swim team. Let's play the cut.
There was a lot of things you couldn't talk about that were very concerning, like a locker room situation. If you even brought up concerns about it, you were transphobic. If you even bring up the fact that Leah swimming might not be fair, you were immediately shut down as being called a hateful person or transphobic.
But there's never any.
So if they try and raise the issue of...
Damn, really cut Matt Walsh off there. All right, enough from him. Back to me. Let us talk about perversion.
Having a man with male parts walking around naked in the female changing room, they get accused as teammates of the college team of being transphobic. Michael, tell me if I'm wrong here. The issue is courage. After 2 years of COVID, after political correctness, after cancel.
Yeah, that's not what they were saying. They were saying that if you speak up or out about this, they have fears of being labeled as transphobic. That's what it was. Why did you add all that? I don't know. Was that a little Freudian there? Is that something that you want to kind of explore?
Culture. Men should be standing up, should be, as my colleague Charlie Kirk said, at those swim meets, the fathers on the bleachers, when they see Leah Thomas, they should get up and make a human wall in front of the pool and say, that man does not get to swim in that pool with my daughter.
Wow, he's incredibly extreme. I didn't know he was this far right. But yeah, that's definitely going to keep things safe.
Speaking of science and orgasms, these misogynist clowns are part of the reason we have smart dildos with temperature and pressure sensors that can help people with vaginas give themselves better orgasms, and jack shit and sex toys for penis.
Too true. We also have all kinds of advanced hardware now. We have fleshlights that you can plug into USB ports so that you can experience internet pleasure with other people. It's just the cup's running over. But yeah.
Why isn't it happening, Michael?
I think it's because the patriarchy wins in the end. No, maybe that's not it. That is, though, one of the lessons here. It's a total assault on feminism or anything.
Yeah, can we just process this for 2 seconds, what they were talking about? Like, Sebastian Gorka wants people to run in front of trans women. Sorry, men specifically. Wants men to lock arms and to run in front of trans women and berate them and scream at them. Again, everything they propose always is so much more horrifying.
Even resembling a women's movement. And the reason that you're seeing this happen right now, by the way, is because you've got these two competing claims. You've got the claim of the confused men who say that we have the right to go use the women's locker room. And then you've got the claim of the women who say, no, we have the right to get changed without seeing a naked man in our locker room. And so which is it? I think as long as we prattle on about rights and entitlement and feelings and subjectivity, we're not going to get anywhere. The question we've got to ask, and you alluded to it earlier in the show, is about the truth. What is the reality here? For Matt's movie, what is a woman? What is the true biological, philosophical part of our nature?
Man, nothing like more mansplaining than this whole what is a woman discourse being led almost exclusively by men. Like, it's always men. Did you see the screening party where it's like, we are now going to host a panel discussing what is a woman, and it was 4 dudes, and I was like, okay. Great. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, and apparently they're feminists now. Yeah, because they're part of the whole TERF thing. So that's also fantastic.
And then we've got to organize society according to that. And if we don't have that, by the way, if we totally throw objective reality out the window.
It's so weird that he just spouts this kind of shit with a giant smile on his face. Yeah, we understand what you're saying. We understand that you're trying to uphold patriarchy. That's kind of a basis for all of this, right? What is a woman? A woman is a birth giver. She should be there but to be fertilized by men and give birth. That is it. Matt Walsh has exposed this.
That means we can't have self-government. It means we can't even communicate with one another.
Yeah, and that's why your book is called Speechless. Lastly, you're a man of faith. I think we have to say the truth here. This is diabolical. This is a demonic assault on the building block of Western civilization, which is the family. They're only trying to sexualize children, Michael, because that's how they destroy the connection between child and parent. Do you concur?
Absolutely. You know, the fact that now some people are identifying with plural pronouns, they'll say my pronoun.
Why is this considered wholesome? Why is this good old-fashioned American entertainment? This shit is fucking disgusting. Stop making little girls do this. Stop doing that, America. Why is child marriage a thing in the US? Why are you legally allowed to marry a 16-year-old in some states and they cannot divorce you until they become an adult, locking them into that marriage where they are sexually assaulted? Why is that a thing? Why, since 2000, has there been over 300,000 child marriages in the US? That shit is fucked up. You don't care about this. You don't care about the kids. You just want to, like, vilify queer people. That's what it is and always will be. Oh, yes, demonic. Satan.
And they and them. The last place I saw that was in the Gospels. My name is Legion, for we are many. This is obviously demonic stuff, and we should call it like we see it.
Horrifying stuff. The far right in the U.S. Just, you know, marching closer and closer to some kind of Christian theocracy. You know, it's just like, it seems like more and more they just want to be like, it's mask off time, right? It's basically like, we've tolerated all of you for long enough. We now need to exterminate you. We need to make sure that you no longer exist, and at the same time, we need to give ourselves to God and give up to the one Savior, our Lord. Now, I want to change from that to something that's actually pretty fucking hilarious, but it's of the same ilk. Did I get you to delete it? Oh no! Shit, I created the villain for the day. Sorry, you were just trying to express yourself, just trying to come out and give your opinion on this. Okay, well, luckily I took a screenshot. Allow us to return to the Wayback Machine. Okay, so here we go. Imagine seeing the first one as a problem, lol. 1991, fucking look at April. So hot, massive boobas, huge fucking boobas. Look at those things. Oh, God, amazing. Oh, how can anyone contain themselves? 2022, what's going on here? Huh? What's going on? Why don't I see cleavage? Why don't I see the monster boobas? What have they done? I don't even like the face structure for some reason. This is not normal, okay? Look what they took from us. They took this is a kid's video game. This is from a kid's cartoon series. It's intended for children. It doesn't matter if you're getting off. What the hell? But then I loved how someone else took it upon themselves to talk. I have been posting about this for weeks now. No YouTuber wants to talk about the censorship. They didn't remove her neckline. They also flattened her chest. There are scenes where she is literally completely flat, and she is flat for their advertisement. Who cares if she's flat? What the fuck is wrong with being flat? What is wrong with smaller titties? Smaller titties are awesome too. What is wrong with all of you? And then, you know, went to the point. This is one of my favorite parts. Goes to the point of pointing out, Leo's got tits. What's going on here? This is okay, but this is not, huh? You have to take away April O'Neil's tits, but all of a sudden Leo's tits got bigger? The turtle titties? What is going on here? What the fuck is going on? By the way, this person continues and says, here is another question that not many of the devs want to answer. Why is Blaze from SOAR 4 okay, but April O'Neil is problematic? Both games made from Dotemu. Also, Blaze, when kicking, shows off her underwear. No issue there from the devs, comparing a cartoon with the screen image. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. What's going on here? This is what they took from us. This is what they took from us. We could have had this. Look what happened to April. Now we have this. What the fuck? They took everything from us. The world was so pure. By the way, I don't want to break people's brains, but if you didn't know this, April O'Neil was black. Did anyone know this? Once in a blue moon, I remember that April O'Neil was originally a black woman. This all changed due to the cartoon and executive meddling.
I'm always a fan of amphibian memories.
Oh, thank you, Balthazar, for the $10. Once in a blue moon, I remember that April O'Neil was originally a black woman. This all changed due to the cartoon and executive meddling. And I'll always appreciate Rise of the TMT for bringing a black, younger April back. Here is the original April O'Neil, everybody. Yeah. Now, you know what? This seems like something that the quartering and geeks and gamers should be getting big mad about. You would assume, right? Because this is the thing they always talk about. They always say, we're not racists. We're not racists. We just don't like when people meddle with our precious childhood properties. Why does a character in the comic book who is white have to be black in the movie? I don't get that. Like, you know, why not just make black comic book characters black comic book superheroes in movies and leave white comic book heroes to be played by white actors? I don't understand why they have to. I'm not a racist. This is not about race. I'm not getting super upset. I'm not soiling my diaper right now because there happens to be a black character playing a white comic book character. So if that's true, you should have nonstop 24-hour outrage about this. This should fucking infuriate you to no end. Look what they did. Look what they did. They changed April O'Neil, you know? Instead of what I'm sure would be the inevitable video by the quartering, which is April O'Neil's boobs got smaller. Yeah. Probably going to be what this is all about at the end of the day. Look what they took from us, everybody. And by the way, going back to this whole conversation with Michael Knowles and Sebastian Gorka and the perversions that the queers are trying to do towards the rest of the world, excuse me, but people, I'm assuming heterosexual people, are flipping out over a children's cartoon because apparently April O'Neil is more flat-chested now, and that's just not becoming. Why is it not okay to have giant booba April O'Neil? And the truth is, both are fine, but also this is a children's cartoon. It's intended for kids. Why the fuck does this matter so much to you? Like, you can go on Google right now. I guarantee you there's probably a world of April O'Neil porn drawn to all the proportions that you seek. All right? Everything you ever need could be there. You don't need to make this into a fucking cause. You don't need to fucking get big mad about this and be like, no one is talking about this. Why won't anyone talk about how they stole April from us? She was beautiful once. Now look at her. Now look at her. Oh, God. That needs to be posted to the Straights Are Not Okay, by the way.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we beseech thee to smite down our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble court jesters, here to amuse you. To our lords, Trevor R., we give thanks for this spit of land for us to eke out this meager existence. To our knights, Merid, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Ellie Leslie, Alex P., Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, that one guy, Hagbird Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Yanis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our flag in a veil, and we salute you, our friends.